Loadouts are gone in Warzone 2, and not only that, there is 8 other major changes that they are making to Warzone 2. But let's start with the big one, and that's loadouts being gone. You no longer can buy a loadout for your team. Instead, you can go into a buy station and upgrade your weapons. This is the best footage I could find of the buy station. Everyone that was at the event had their face cam covering half of the options in the buy station, but you can see Huskers looking at the options to upgrade your weapons here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when Warzone 2 actually does release, you'll be able to save a loadout with a certain weapon, and then when you get into a game, you can actually use the money you've gotten in game to buy that gun. So instead of buying a whole loadout, you're just buying individual guns. But from the sounds of it, these are fully customizable, so you can still use your preferred guns and attachments, but it's not a full loadout with all your perks and everything. There's actually going to be no perks in Warzone 2. So it's almost like a mix between Blackout and the original Warzone. Now, as you saw, the buy stations do look a lot different, and looting is a lot different as well. If any of you did play Blackout, you remember when you looted someone's body or a chest or whatnot, that instead of everything just kind of exploding and going all over the floor and you pick it up, it would open up a menu and you would choose what you want. And that seems to be exactly how it is in Warzone 2. Personally, I think this is kind of a change for the worse, as it just slows everything down in the game. I think it's a lot easier and a lot more convenient to just open a chest and it just pops everything out and you just pick what you want up real quick. And I feel like that's going to make it kind of annoying when you need to pick up ammo or whatnot. You got to individually go through and click each piece of ammo that you want instead of just running over a pile of loot and getting all the ammo. Now let's talk about the Gulag. So the Gulag, as I'm sure you've heard, is now a 2v2, and your teammate is most likely some random person from a different team who is now on your team in the Gulag. Now, from my understanding is if you and your teammates die close to the same time, you guys are most likely going to be on the same team. So in that way, it would be kind of cool to do a 2v2 in the Gulag with your own teammate or friend or whatever. But with a random, that could go kind of bad. You get someone who's really bad on your team or AFK or whatnot, you're kind of screwed. But not only that, there is also an AI in the Gulag called the Jailer, and the Jailer apparently has just a ridiculous amount of health, and he can drop a key in which you can use to escape the Gulag. So technically, you don't even need to kill each other in the Gulag. You could just work together, kill the Jailer, and then escape. And AI seems to be a huge theme in Warzone 2. They've talked about it a lot in their interviews when talking about the game, and there is literally AI just scattered all over the map, like a ridiculous amount of AI. I saw a clip when I was watching the stream yesterday of, I think it was Jowo popping a UAV, and all of the AI show up on the mini map, not only real players, and it looked like a sea of red. You couldn't even tell where a real player was when looking at the UAV. Personally, I think having a bunch of AI on the map is just stupid. I'll just say it, it's just stupid. There's going to be a lot of situations where you're in a gunfight with a different team, and then there's going to be an AI in the mix as well, and they can definitely get you killed, and I'm sure that's going to be really annoying. I personally don't think any AI or bots belong in the game whatsoever, but if they're really adamant on adding AI to the game, I think they should just keep it to like maybe certain sections of the map where you could get maybe higher tier loot or something. But overall, I just don't think that is a good addition to the game. Just picture the Fortune's Keep AI, but literally scattered across the whole map. There is a huge change coming with how the circle works in Warzone 2, and how the circle is going to work is it starts as one big circle like we're used to, and then eventually it'll split off into 3 separate circles, and then from those 3 separate circles, they'll eventually all converge into one circle at the end. Now, I kind of do think this is a cool idea, and I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I feel like it could go either terribly or it could be really fun. I'm personally worried about a situation where you and your team get stuck in one of the 3 circles and there's no other teams to fight, and you're just kind of sitting there doing nothing, and it's just kind of boring. But then again, it could be really fun if you're in one of those 3 little circles and there's like 10 other teams and it's just chaotic and there's a lot of action. In that scenario, I feel like it could be really fun. And when all three zones do end up closing into each other, I feel like that's going to end up being very chaotic and super fun, but we'll just kind of have to see how that plays out. Now, the plating system is a little different in Warzone 2. It's a little more similar to Blackout. When you spawn in, you can only equip 2 plates, and the only way to equip a 3rd plate is by actually finding an armor satchel. So this kind of makes it a little RNG as to how much health you actually will have in the game, and I really don't think that's a good change. I'm going to be honest. That was one of the biggest downsides to Blackout, where is if you found a tier 3 armor, you felt like a literal tank. You felt unstoppable, and you basically were able to get an easy win if no one else had tier 3 armor. This isn't nearly as bad as that. It's only 1 plate, but it is still one of those things where 2 people of equal skill level with the same gun shoot each other at the same time, and the person with more plates is gonna win, and that person who has more plates, they only won that fight because they got lucky off spawn and found an armor satchel. So I don't think this is necessarily a good change, but I do see this as something that they will change in the future, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of negative feedback about that. Couple things about the movement system. I'm sure you've heard that you can no longer slide cancel, and I've been playing a good bit of Modern Warfare 2 beta so far, and I'm starting to get used to the whole no slide canceling thing, and now that I'm getting used to it, I don't think I'm as annoyed by it. I know the community feels kind of like 50-50 split on whether or not you like slide canceling or not. Personally, I loved it, and I kind of wasn't excited about the fact, but the movement's going to be the same in Warzone 2 as it is in Modern Warfare 2, and now that I'm getting used to it, like I said, I'm kind of enjoying it. Although there has been some pro players, I think it was Shotzi, that has figured out a way to slide cancel, and it actually looked like insane, like really insane. But I'm sure they're gonna end up patching this before Warzone 2 and MW2 actually release. And you can actually swim in the game now, which I think is super cool. We're gonna be able to swim, dive underwater. You can shoot your guns in the water. There's gonna be boats to help navigate the water a lot quicker, because a big portion of the map is water. There's a lot of water on the map. And speaking of the map, I mean, I personally haven't played it, but from what I've seen, the map just looks absolutely incredible. It looks like there's very good visibility. It's really vibrant and colorful, and there's a lot of locations that feature old maps, like High Rise and Terminal, for example. I think I saw Showdown in there as well, so I'm super excited about that. But that leads me to my personal favorite new addition to Warzone 2, and that is proximity chat. If you don't know what proximity chat is, it's basically you can hear people who are on other teams who are within close proximity to you, which can lead to a lot of really funny moments and, well, a lot of toxic moments. I feel like proximity chat might be kind of bad for streamers, because, you know, there's people who say a lot of crazy things in game chat. But all in all, I'm just extremely excited for Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to be playing the beta a lot this weekend on stream. Link is in the description if you want to catch me live at all. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button and drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below and let me know if I missed anything. If there's something else you're super excited about or something you're not exactly excited about, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Here's the web. Peace.